I'm James Deemer, the Audio Nomad, and before we get into today's review of the DUNU Mirai, I want to remind you that we're doing a giveaway every week. The way you enter is you like, subscribe, and comment. Look for your name pinned to the top of next week's video. We've given away some really, really cool stuff to date, and we're going to continue that trend, so wish you best of luck. There are so many new releases of in-ear monitors, it's hard to keep up. It's really overwhelming. There are some amazing sets that get talked about and lauded, and then there are some amazing sets that kind of get swept under the rug and don't get the attention that they deserve. The DUNU Mirai, I believe, is one of those IEMs that just never got the attention that it deserves, and I want to give it a little bit of attention now. I believe it was in 2023 when Precogvision, who's a reviewer with headphones.com, teamed up with DUNU to create the DUNU Mirai, which is a 1 dynamic driver and 6 balanced armature in-ear monitor. It's got a biocellulose 10mm dynamic driver that handles the lows, and then a mixture of Knowles and Sonyan balanced armature drivers that handle mids, mid-high frequencies, and even ultra-high frequencies with the Knowles open back Super BA tweeter. With the release of so many IEMs, it's hard to keep up and it's hard to know what to choose. I don't think anyone can just go out and buy any IEM they want at any given time, or at least not many of us can. So we rely on reviews, written reviews, video reviews, words from friends, things we try out at events, club events, things we borrow from others, or units that we either purchase new or used to form our opinions on an in-ear monitor. And when something's expensive, like the DUNU Mirai, which originally was $1,099, it's hard to justify spending that kind of money without really believing that you're going to enjoy the product. I think what happened with the DUNU Mirai is because Precogvision is a headphones.com reviewer, other reviewers from headphones.com and probably Precogvision himself were a little bit hesitant to promote the IEM as forcefully or as exuberantly as they could have, because they didn't want to appear to be shilling their own product. This is all just conjecture on my part. I actually don't know if this is true or not, but this is what I'm guessing happened. And it's a real shame because, truthfully, this is one of the best sounding IEMs I've heard in a very long time. I recently got to try it at an event in Toronto, and then I asked headphones.com to send me a demo unit, which I'm going to send back to them when this review is over, because I wanted to test it myself in my own environment, quiet, and for a longer period of time to see if it really lived up to the hype that I was remembering from a few weeks ago at this event where I got to try it for just a short period of time. I'm happy to say that it not only sounds as good as I remember it sounding, but I actually think it sounds even better. And before we get into how I feel about the sound quality of the DUNU Mirai, I'd like to talk a little bit about the build quality. I remember when it came out and I was immediately smitten with the color. It's this very unique emerald green. It's quite beautiful. It's an opaque emerald green shell that is a very, very nice shape. It's pleasing to look at, and it's also quite comfortable in the ear. It's not too big. It has Mirai printed on the inside of the shell in yellow letters, and then the back faceplate is this sort of, I'm not sure what the material of the faceplate is. It reminds me of an old bowling ball or an acrylic fountain pen. It has this very pearlescent sheen to it and a lot of depth. So combined with the opaque emerald green shell and then this even brighter, deep, lush green pearlescent faceplate, the aesthetic is very, very pleasing to me. The way that they've shaped the faceplate around into the shell is also quite nice. You know, it just sort of drips together. The whole thing is quite seamless and very beautiful. It does have a vent on the top, which is it's an interesting looking vent because it doesn't have like a a mesh. It's essentially like a stainless steel plate, it looks like, with 4 holes in it. I've never seen a design quite like this, and it does have a bit of a relief, so you can feel it. It sort of sticks out a little bit. The nozzle is stainless steel. It's a very long nozzle, but it holds most tips quite easily, and they seem to stay in place. The fit of the DUNU Mirai is quite good. Didn't have any problem getting it in my ears. I ended up using it with the Divinius tips, a wide bore tip, and with a good seal, they work beautifully. DUNU has always been at the forefront of cable design, and I think the Mirai cable is of no exception. It's an ivory colored cable that is very soft and pliable. It's quite quiet and exhibits no microphonics, and it actually matches the retro vibe of the in-ear monitors perfectly. When you combine this gorgeous IEM shell design, the beautiful opaque emerald color, with this lustrous faceplate that just oozes into the shell, and this absolutely sublime ivory colored cable that's supple and soft, it really reminds me of the French Art Nouveau style of the 30s and I believe into the 40s. I believe it was Guimond who designed a lot of the Paris subway systems, including the signage, and it inspired a lot of style in France at the time. And this IEM is quite reminiscent of that style, at least in my opinion. You know, another thing that DUNU is really known for are its terminations. I believe they may have been the first company that created the removable termination. And the DUNU Mirai is a really great example of this termination style. So it's a brushed, I believe it's like brushed aluminum or brushed steel with a Limo style 4-pin connector. So it's spring loaded. You pull back the connector and then you pop off this right angle adapter, and you have a 2.5, a 3.5, and a 4.4 option. The right angle connector alternates from this brushed aluminum or steel look to the ivory colored plastic and then the gold termination in it. The whole presentation of this in-ear monitor is so well thought out. It's frankly, it's one of the most beautiful IEMs I think I've ever seen. Right down to the case. You know, I didn't actually see the original packaging for this unit because I got it just in a case with the IEM, but the case itself is this very nice looking zippered case. It says DUNU on the outside, and it's also this ivory color, and you open it up and it's printed Mirai on the inside. It's small enough that you could fit it in your pocket. It has a nice metal zipper. You know, it feels a little bit haute couture, like it's all inspired by high Parisian fashion. But we don't buy IEMs solely to look at them. We buy them to listen to them. And the DUNU Mirai is one of the most satisfying listening experiences I've had in an in-ear monitor in a very long time. This thing is so special. All of the frequency ranges play so well with each other. It is one of the most entirely cohesive in-ear monitors that I've listened to. You know, I do review a lot of IEMs, and it's really fun when you listen to a $200 or $300 IEM and you think, wow, this thing just sounds incredible. And you listen to many $200 or $300 IEMs and you just can't imagine how something might sound better. But when you go up to $1,000 IEM that's done really well, like the DUNU Mirai, it does sound better. It just elevates everything a little bit. When I first started listening to this back in Toronto, I wasn't getting an amazing seal with the tips that I was using, and I thought that possibly the bass was a little bit lean. When I got back to my studio here in Maine and I received the Mirai and I played with some tips and I got a really good seal with these Divinius wide bore tips, the bass just came alive. It's It's punchy, it's responsive, it's deep, but it's in no way overpowering. One of my favorite characteristics in higher frequencies in-ear monitors is a term I like to call buttery. And it's when the high frequencies kind of melt together in a way where they just sound smooth and warm, but still have sparkle and depth. The DUNU Mirai are buttery. The Sony IEM come to mind with sort of a velvety texture, but it's not buttery. So, where an IEM might be a little bit on the dark side, the Mirai are not dark. They still have plenty of sparkle and presence in the high end, but everything just kind of melts together. It's hard for me to describe. It's not that I'm losing the sort of crispness that I like to hear or that shimmer, but it's done in a way that's just smoothed out so that it's not harsh or fatiguing in any way. This is an IEM that I could listen to for hours and hours on end and not feel fatigued. Yet, at the same time, I feel like I'm getting excellent detail retrieval in this in-ear monitor. So I'm hearing those nuances in the sound that I really like to hear without getting fatigued. And that's a very, very difficult thing to achieve in the tuning of an IEM. I believe that the DUNU Mirai, unfortunately, was overlooked as probably one of the greatest in-ear monitors to come out, in my opinion, in the last couple of years. And I don't know if they'll ever make it again or how many headphones.com has left. But if you're looking for something that's an absolute beautiful presentation from the way it looks to the build quality, to the quality of the cable, the versatility of the cable, right down to the beautiful case. It does come with some nice tips. But most importantly, one of the most mature and easy to listen to sound signatures of an IEM I've heard in a long time. I believe at any price, the DUNU Mirai is a wise choice. So hats off to Precogvision and DUNU for making something so special, and I'm really glad that I got to experience this before it drifted away into obscurity. I hope you get a chance to try it too. If you have tried it, let me know what you think. What other obscure IEMs that people don't talk enough about are there out there that you'd like to bring to mind? I'm James Deemer, the Audio Nomad. I appreciate you watching this channel, and until next week, thanks for watching. This video is brought to you by Linsoul.com. Linsoul sells IEMs, headphones, amplifiers, digital to analog converters, cables, really just about anything you could want for personal hi-fi or even home hi-fi. Their prices are great, the quality is exceptional, and their customer service is really second to none. Check them out in the link below.